Greetings comic book fans and welcome to Comic Book Catch Up, a special edition of Comic Book Catch Up, as today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Previews book that they gave away free this week. I'm going to go through this, talk about the books that I'm looking forward to, and also talk about some of the books that I'm going to give a miss and why, you know. So hopefully this won't take too long. So yeah, this was free, my favourite price, and basically it's just all kind of like images of the new books that are coming out. You get an introduction in the beginning, which doesn't really say much, just that this is your first look at what's coming up. We then get this, which we had this, this was on the internet a while back, and it's just got a lot of the new characters that they've got, or new looks. So we've got, I think this character's called Red Wolf, we've got Miss Marvel, we've got the Miles Morales Spider-Man, we've got Vision, we've got Goddess of Thunder 4, we've got Ant-Man, Iron Man, Steve Rogers, old Steve Rogers, Captain America, Spider-Woman, we've got Black Panther, Agent Coulson, we've got Spider-Man with a glowing spider on his chest, which is different, and we've got SpiderGwen. And then you turn over and we get another like double page picture, again with Iron Man in the middle, but this time we've got old Man Logan, Starlord, Wolverine, Doctor Strange carrying an axe, we've got Daredevil in a new black outfit, we've got Medusa, we've got Inferno, who I'm gathering is Inferno, we've got Karnak, we've got Hyperion, we've got Rocket Raccoon and the Thing, who are both now Guardians of the Galaxy, as they are both the same kind of uniforms. I'm not sure who this guy is here in the mask. And then up here we've got Dr. Spectrum. So a look at some of the new looks and some of the characters that will be coming up in the new books. So the first book that gets kind of looked at, it is Invincible Iron Man, issue number 1. It's going to be written by Brian Michael Bendis with art by David Marquez. Now David Marquez, I'm sure he did one of the XMen books, and I remember I liked his art. So he's worked with Bendis before. The last 2 Iron Man books I've not really been into, so I'm really hoping that this is going to be the Iron Man that I want. Certainly the look of the new armor looks good. You can see some of the sketches here. It's going to be kind of like hexagon based, this armor, so that you can see the images here. So it like comes apart like in hexagons and then reforms into a different kind of weapons. So we can have like a rocket launcher, then it will come apart and maybe turn into a big laser or something, you know. So I like the idea of the armor, and certainly the art we get a look at here looks good. So that's one I'll definitely be giving a go when that comes out. We then have A-Force, which at the moment here we have a cover artist, which is Victor Ibanez, and we have the writer G. Willow Wilson, who's writing the Secret Wars version at the moment. It looks like the same cast. We've got She-Hulk, Medusa, Captain Marvel, Sister Grimm, and Dazzler, and that character there in the middle, who I don't know what her name is. So it looks like it's going to be the same lineup, so be interesting. We then have the all new, all different Avengers. Each kind of bit as at the bottom. For A-Force, it says a force to be reckoned with. For Avengers, it says Earth's most dedicated heroes. This is going to be written by Mark Waid with art from Adam Kubert and Mahmoud Azra, which means it's got 2 artists. I'm suspecting this is going to be a book that's going to be out every 2 weeks. Usually when they have a number of artists on a book, it's because of that. It's that crazy schedule, and you're going to need more artists. And Alex Ross is named as the cover artist. So you can see from the picture there, which I really do like that Alex Ross picture there. We have the Vision, this side, Vision, we have Thor, we have Captain America, Iron Man, then we have Nova, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Miss Marvel. This isn't really news because Free Comic Book Day we had, there was an all new, all different Avengers book. So we knew about this team already, but these 2 books here, A-Force and all new, all different Avengers, are 2 books I'll definitely be getting. We then have the Uncanny Avengers. Issue number 1. It's going to be written by Jerry Duggan with art by Ryan Stegman. As you can see there, we've got Spider-Man, Quicksilver, Dr. Voodoo, Steve Rogers. I'm guessing that's the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond, but it could be Johnny Storm, Rogue, Deadpool, and I'm not sure who this young lady at the front here is. I'm not sure it is. The tagline for this is "Fighting for humanity, inhumanity, humans, and Deadpool." I'm not going to be getting this. There's only so many books you can get, and I liked Remender's run on Uncanny Avengers, but there doesn't seem to be anything there that's kind of grabbing me saying, yes, I'm going to be getting that book. We then have New Avengers, issue number 1, which is written by Al Ewing, with art by Gerardo Sandoval, so a good team on that book. We have the lineup of the characters. What I like, it's Avengers idea mechanics we aim to help is the tagline. So we know from the previous New Avengers that Sunspot now owns AIM, and he's changed it into Avengers idea mechanics, and he's got his own team. So we've got Sunspot, Squirrel Girl, Hawkeye, Sunbird, Hulkling, and Wiccan. So an interesting lineup, but no, it's going to be one I'm going to miss. Then we have the Ultimate issue, which is Al Ewing, again writing this one. So there's two books he's writing there, with art by Kenneth Rockford, so you know it's going to be a very beautiful book. We then have on the team, we have Black Panther, we have, I think, is her name Proton now? She was Captain Marvel for a bit. I think her name's Proton now, could be wrong. We have Blue Marvel, we have Miss America, Captain Marvel, and Galactus. Ultimate problems need ultimate solutions, which, so yeah, that looks an interesting lineup, but it's one that it's not reaching out to me, so I think I'm going to give that one a miss. We then got Doctor Strange, which I am definitely getting this. It says some surgery requires a scalpel, some an axe. So we've got Doctor Strange, written by Jason Aaron with art by Chris Bocolo. I'm on board, so that's one I'm definitely getting. I've loved what Jason Aaron has done with Thor, so I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do with Doctor Strange. Who's a character I don't know that much about. He's one of those Marvel characters you're kind of aware of, but I never read that much of him. We then have Captain Marvel, written by Tara Butters and Michelle Fazekas, which I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're the writers of the TV show Agent Carter. So that'll be interesting to see them writing a comic. And Chris Anker on art. I don't know if it's Chris Anker who does this image, but I love this image of Captain Marvel on here. I'm to understand, I think it's Captain Marvel in space, which I remember when Kelly Sue started writing it. I loved that first volume of it with her on Earth, and then the second kind of Kelly Sue did a second lot of it, it went into space, and I didn't enjoy it as much in space. We've got Captain Marvel Rises is the name, so yeah, it's looking very spacified, but that's probably one I'm going to give a miss, just because there's so many you can't get them all. Then we have here Sam Wilson, Captain America, Nick Spencer writing it with Daniel Acuna. I loved Daniel Acuna's Uncanny Avengers run, because he not only drew it, he inked it, he coloured it, so it had a different look, and I really like that, and it'll be interesting to see him working with Spencer, who's a good writer. We then have the Totally Awesome Hulk number 1. Daft name. What have they done with the Hulk's hair? I haven't got a clue. But obviously the fact that the hand and the face are not showing, is that significant? Is that going to be significant, that hand? So yeah, I'm intrigued over who this Hulk is. Who is the Hulk is the tagline. The name's a bit 90s, and I don't like the name of the book. And the whole thing of well, who is the Hulk? It's kind of, in anybody else's hands, I could kind of really give this a miss. But look who is writing it: Greg Pak and Frank Chow on art. Now, Greg Pak has written some of the greatest Hulk stories, so it's awesome to see him back in the book. And even if it's not Bruce Banner who's in it, it's still going to be freaking awesome to see Pak writing Hulk again. So there's 2 more books that I'm definitely picking up. We then have Thor, the Mighty Thor. The tagline here is: the flesh may be weak, but the thunder is strong. And this is good. This is the same creative team, Jason Aaron writing with Russian Dowderman on art, which I'm definitely getting that one, because anything Thor related by Aaron, I'm buying. We then have Scarlet Witch number 1, written by James Robinson. So far they've only announced in here a cover artist, which is Kevin Wadder. I like Robertson's writing, and this would be a book I'd usually check out because I'm intrigued with what Robertson's going to do. But the problem is there are so many books here that it's just impossible to get all of them. So this is one I'm going to give a miss. We then have Miss Marvel #1, which I think is pretty much the same creative team, so I'm still getting that. G. Gilla Wilson is still writing it. Another book that I might have checked out, Illuminati, Josh Williamson writing it. Riley Rosmo is on cover art with Sean Crystal on art. Forever Evil is the tagline there. It looks like it's going to be like a villains book. That could be interesting, particularly with the writer. I really enjoyed the stuff I've read of Williamson this year, but it's like, again, it's not kind of blowing me away wanting to get it, so I'll give that one a miss. We then have Hawkeye with the same creative team of Jeff Lemire and Ramon Ramirez, and the tagline is Hawkeye versus Hawkeye, so it looks like one of them is going bad, so that should be interesting. We then have Ant-Man with the tagline Once a Criminal, so it looks like he's going back to being a criminal. Nick Spencer's writing that. Ramon Rosanas is on art, and Matt Brooks is on cover art. But that cover I really do like, the Ant-Man cover. They did a good job there. Ant-Man 1 I'm going to give a miss, just because, again, it's not a character or a direction that I'm really that excited about. But Hawkeye I'll definitely be getting, because I'm loving that team of Lemire and Perez. Vision is a book that I'm a bit conflicted with. The tagline is a bold new vision for the Marvel Universe. And Vision is one of my favourite characters, and I like that cover. Tom King is writing with Gabrielle H. Wilder and art, Marcos Martin on cover art. I have no idea what they're going to do with the Vision with this. So it's probably one I'm going to... I might check out the first issue, but it's not one I'm going to put down on my pull straight away. We then have Contest of Champions, Al Ewing writing, who's going to be very busy, and Paco Medina on art. When Heroes Gather is the tagline for Contest of Champions. I'm not sure if it's like based off the old comic book, or if it's based off the computer game that they've got now that you can get on Android and iPhone. I don't know which one it is. Then we come to Spider-Man. Now, there are eight Spider-Man related books. To put that into context, Valiant bring about 9 books a month out. 9 books in total Valiant release. And there's almost the same number of Spider related books. We've got Amazing Spider-Man, which I'm going to drop, just because there's so many Spider related books. I know that at some point they're going to do some kind of crossover event, and I'm going to end up buying all 8. So I'm going to cut it out before I start, and so yeah, no more Spider-Man for me. So we've got Amazing Spider-Man by Dan Slott, Giuseppe Camuncoli on art, Alex Ross on cover art. Your friendly neighborhood just got bigger is the tagline. We've got Carnage, written by Jerry Conway, which I'll be giving a miss. Mike Perkins on art, which I do like Perkins' art. The tagline's Descent into Madness. We then have Spider-Woman, a same creative team, parent by day, hero by night. They're doing a whole she's pregnant deal, which I'm going to be dropping that because again it's just a spider related book. Spider-Man, this is the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Welcome to the Marvel Universe, Miles Morales. Hope you survive the experience. So we've got Brian Michael Bendis writing with Sarah Pichelli on art. Good team, but again, I've not read any of the Miles Morales stuff, so he's not a character I'm attached to. SpiderGwen, same creative team as the same for Silk. 2 books I'll be giving a miss. We have Spider-Man 2099. I like that new outfit. Peter David still writing. I think it's the same creative team on it, totally. Smack to the Future. Now this is the only one I like, Web Warriors, where you've got like Mike Costa writing, David Baldion on art, with Julian Totino, Tedesco on cover art. Defending the Spider-Verse is the tagline. We've got like all the different, like you got Spider-Man Noir, you got Spider-Gwen, we've got Spider-Ham, we've the Kung Fu Spider-Man, Spider-Man UK, and like a Spider-Woman as well. I like this because it kind of, if they're defending, they're going traveling the multiverse, it gives a reason why Gwen Stacy can be the SpiderGwen, can be in the regular Marvel universe as well as her own universe. So I like that I think that's a good idea to have that team and to have her on that team. But I won't be buying it. Like I say, I just know at some point they're going to do some kind of crossover, and it's going to be all 8 Spider books. So no. Next up we have Daredevil, issue number 1. Well, obviously all issue number 1s. Charles Soule writing, Rangani on art. The tagline is The Devil's Apprentice. I thought this character, when I first looked at the picture, was going to be Gambit, but means he's going to be Daredevil. It sounds like he's going to be Daredevil's apprentice, so that would sound like it's somebody new, but we will see. We then have Guardians of the Galaxy. Bendis is still writing that. We've got a new lineup. It looks like a female Starlord, so potentially that could be Kitty Pryde. We've got the Thing, we've got Groot, we've got Agent Venom, we've got Drax, and we've got Rocket Raccoon, and the tagline is the Raccoon's in charge, which is an interesting direction for the book to take, have putting Rocket in charge, but I kind of fell off that. I thought they went through a phase where they just like oversaturated us with Guardians books, and yeah, and then you had like the crossovers that was going through all of them, so yeah, that kind of thing's going to scare me off a book real quick. We then have Drax, issue number 1. As a wrestling fan, and then the writer is of great interest to me. It's CM Punk writing it with Cullen Bunn, former WWE superstar, current MMA fighter. So that should be interesting to see what his regular writing for Drax is going to be. It's got Ed McGuinness is on cover art for that one, and it's got Best of in the Galaxy is the tagline. I'll giving that a miss as well. Howard the Duck is one I might try out the first issue, because the current like Howard the Duck run I've heard good things about, so it's one I might look at, but I probably won't pick it up just because there's so many others. It's Howard gets a new hat, same creative team on that one. Let's see what's next. Oh, Nova. Sean Ryan writing it, Corey Smith on art with Humberto Ramos on cover art, and it's got the family business. I'm tempted to pick this one up. I might try the first issue. It's not one I'm going to add straight away, just because, like, again, there are so many. We have Starlord, issue number 1, which looks, it's Sam Humphrey still writing it, but Dave Johnson doing cover art, and it feels like the very first time, so I don't know what that's about, but he's got a old style kind of astronaut thing on, so I don't know what they're doing with Starlord there, but that definitely looks like the Peter Quill Starlord, where the one in Guardians of the Galaxy looks like a female Starlord, so yeah. We have Venom Space Knight number 1. This is a book I would have given a go. Sometimes a hero needs a little space. This is one that looks interesting in kind of like a space science fiction kind of way. I like the look of the art we got here. So it's one I would be tempted to try at the first issue. I'm not going to put it down as one yet I'm going to read, but yeah, it definitely intrigues me to give it a go. And then we have Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1. Frank Burberry is writing this. I think he's the guy who writes 5 Ghosts, is he? I think so. With Brent Schuhover on art. And the tagline, to fight monsters of the world, we need monsters of the night. So yeah, we got this new S.H.I.E.L.D. team. We then have, speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D., we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1. Mark Guggenheim writing with Mike Norton on cover art. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Looks like Coulson's going to get cozy with Hydra. We then have Uncanny Inhumans. This is one I will be getting. Charles Soule writing, McNiven on art. I loved what they did together on the death of Wolverine, so I'm super excited to see him back. The tag is The Silence is Broken, so I'm wondering if they're going to have Black Bolt talk, because I know, like in the Secret Wars, the couple of issues I read of that Inhumans book, Attilan Rising, the couple of issues I read, he talked in that, so I'm just wondering if this is kind of like if that's what it means, or maybe it just means that it's more out there about the Inhumans. I don't know. But we're going to have the Human Torch, Johnny Storm in there, and we've also got Beast, Hank McCoy. So interesting characters popping up in that book, and that's one I'd definitely be buying. We then have Karnak, which is another one I'm tempted. It is a Warren Ellis book with cover art from David Hajar. The flaw in all things. Karnak is an inhuman, his ability to see the flaws. So if you give him a plan, he'll find the flaw. If you give him a building, he'll find all the ways in and out. If you give him a plan, he'll be able to find the flaws in that plan. That's his thing. In the comic, for example, he had died and he found the flaws in hell and found how to get out of hell to come back into the world, and that's how come he's back now. It sounds an interesting kind of book, and Warren Ellis is a writer who I think could make it work. So I don't know, this is one I may give a go. We then have Angela, Asgard's Assassin #1, written by Margaret Bennett. Hell have a new fury. So it looks like Angela is going to be put in charge of Hell. I won't be getting that one. Another James Robertson book, Squadron Supreme, reuniting him with Kirkwood with cover art from Alex Ross. It's sole survivors of their world. They'll do anything to protect this one. An interesting team, it does look, but I'm not sure. I probably would have given this one a go, but I think I'll wait to read it because there are just so many good books. This is one I'll definitely be getting. It is Extraordinary XMen, with Jeff Lemire working with Alberto Ramos. Lemire writing the X-Men, that is just awesome. And look at this lineup. We have got Wolverine, we've got Jean Grey, we've got Nightcrawler, we've got Storm, we've got Iceman, Colossus, and Magic. So that is a pretty cool lineup, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this team. Then we've got Colin Bunn, he's writing Uncanny X-Men, and we've got a villain team. It says bigger threats require more threatening X-Men, so we've got Magneto, we've got Sabretooth, Cyclops, Mystique, and Phantom X. So I'm like super psyched. That looks great. Colin Bunn has done a great job writing Magneto and some of the other villains he's been writing for other companies. So this could be a really good book. But then you look at who the artist is, Greg Land, and you're kind of like, I may give this one a miss. Not stating to hate, but I don't like Greg Land's style, so I may give that one a miss. We then have all new X-Men #1, which sees, it looks like it's going to have the original young X-Men. So we've got Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, and Beast teaming up with the new Wolverine, the all new Wolverine. So that could be interesting. It's written by Dennis Opelus, art by Mark Bagley, on a mission to make their own future. So that one I'll probably be picking that one up. I think, yeah, that would be on my list. Speaking of on my list, we've got Old Man Logan as we reunite Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino on a book. Anything them two are working on, I'm telling you, you could get a Teletubbies Power Pack crossover written by Jeff Lemire with art by Sorrentino, and I would buy it. Because I think I just buy anything that those two guys are together on, because they just did such an awesome job on Green Arrow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Old Man Logan. It's got older, wiser, sharper. What I find interesting is the back. Is the one side we've got like the world burning, and the other side we've got the Miles Morales Spider-Man. So it looks like Old Man Logan's book may not start out in the regular universe. We then have all new Wolverine #1, written by Tom Taylor with art by David Lopez. Best there is at what she does. So it looks like X-23 is going to take over the mantle for Wolverine. I think the outfit looks a lot better on her than it did on Wolverine. I always preferred Wolverine's brown and orange kind of outfit. That was always my favourite Wolverine one. Probably because that was the first Wolverine uniform I saw. I was never a big fan of the yellow, but it does look a lot better on X-23. Just kind of seems to work for her. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that one up, just because I like X-23 as a character. What I've read of her, I haven't read that much, but the things I've read her in, she seems a nice character. And the book I'll be giving a miss is Deadpool #1. Still got Jerry Duggan writing it with Mike Hawthorne on art, with Tony Moore on cover art. And it says more Deadpool than you wanted, which is probably true. I'm not a big Deadpool fan. So those are all the previews. The back of the book then is just going through you know, some of the Secret Wars books that are currently out. With the A-Force and Weird World, Old Man Logan and Squadron Sinister, Future Imperfect at 1872, Spider-Verse and Kitty, Starlord and Kitty Pryde, and then at the end we've got Mrs. Deadpool and the Howling Commandos. So that is the previews book. Out of the book, I don't know how many books there are. There seem a lot. My total at the moment for books I'm definitely getting are 15. Like I'm hoping when we get to that point in October, books like Infinity Gauntlet, books like that I'm currently buying, books like my mind's just gone blank of the Secret Wars titles I'm getting. But yeah, the ones that are like mini-series, like Where Monsters Dwell, Weird World, those books will all have finished by then. So, and Secret Wars itself will have also finished by October. So when these books come out, there'll be a lot more, hopefully a lot more space on my pull list. There's a lot of mini-series or short-term books will have finished. But I'm trying to cut back a bit. And kind of like things like with the Spider-Man books, I'm kind of trying to stay away from them, just because I know at some point there's going to be a tie-in event. I'm just trying to get the books that I'm most interested. The rest I'll probably read in the Marvel Unlimited app. So that is my video, comic book catch up for today. There will be a review video up at some point the weekend or early next week. Please, in the comments below, do you think this is too many books from Marvel? Do you think do you think you would buy more books if there were less coming out, and it was easier to follow the whole universe? Would you be more inclined to try books? Does so many books put you off, or doesn't it make a difference? Which books are you excited for? Please, comments below, let me know which ones you're excited for and are going to buy. So that's me done. Thank you very much for watching. All that leaves me to say is that I've been Jason. This has been Comic Book Catch Up. Bye for now.